When Saraya came into AEW, no one knew what to expect given her history of seemingly career-ending injuries. The big question was, would she be able to wrestle? Well, she did, but understandably and thankfully, she would adopt a style of ring work that was much safer than what you would normally see in AEW from the women's roster at the time.
I'm very, very hard on myself. I know, I'm fully aware that I had a long time out of the business and it's really difficult to get back in and be 100% straight away like how you used to be. Like with age and also like just time away, things change and that's okay.
Her first match was against Britt Baker, and this would not be an all-out slugfest the likes that Britt previously had with Thunder Rosa. It was a solid match that did what it needed to do. Saraya was here and on a path to winning the AEW Women's Championship, and she did just that at All In Wembley. And then she held the belt for 44 days and dropped it to Toni Storm.
Does anyone think of Saraya as a former women's champion? Does anyone think of her that way? Did that belt run even count? I don't even know if that belt run counted. Will anyone think 2 years from now, will anyone be like, oh yeah, I remember Saraya's run as AEW women's champion? We're always talking about bad championship runs, but why don't we talk about Saraya when we talk? No one ever said anything about that. They didn't care. That's a shame, actually. No one ever said anything about how short and bad Saraya's championship run was, to the point where we can't even remember it. We don't even acknowledge it. It's as if it didn't happen. It was done for a pop at Wembley and then it was over. Kind of wild, right? We immediately wanted that belt on Toni Storm. Immediately. There was a couple of matches where Toni Storm did not get the belt from Saraya immediately, and it made us so mad. I was literally upset. I was there at Grand Slam and she didn't win the belt, and I was upset. And that would have even made her title reign shorter.
And that's it. End of fucking story. The Outcasts were cool as fuck, but they broke up. Ruby got pregnant, Toni went fucking crazy, and Saraya found a new friend in Harley Cameron.
I don't give a
Breathe with me, okay? Breathe.
I mean, like they say, what's old is new.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is new was once old.
Yes.
And you know what was old can't be new because it's already old. Exactly. Yes. And can't be old because it was once new.
Stop!
Look at him! He's hot! I mean, your whole family is hot.
What?
Daddy. You to Mom. You.
Sorry, hang on 1 second. Stop! No, she's good. She's about to be fixed.
I'm gonna get her with my knife.
That's a spoon, Holly.
See, you've played knifey spoony before.
I personally love the team of Saraya and Harley Cameron, but they seem like they are going to be stuck as comedy relief, and I don't see them being a main event anytime soon.
But who knows? I might be wrong about that. Recent match here on Dynamite suggests that Saraya might have some gas left in the tank after all. Saraya's really good at telling stories in the ring. Did you notice that? She might not move like she used to, but her storytelling abilities are top notch. She has a ton of experience between the ropes, and it shows every time she comes out. She does a great job. And she took a win here over Mariah May, which pissed off some neckbeards on the internet, but fuck them. It was a good match. I like that Saraya is still being presented as a viable threat, and hell, we might end up getting Saraya versus Toni Storm at Wembley, kind of a rematch of sorts. And I'm all for it. Saraya's always going to get a pop in England. Let's give her another go-around. Why the hell not? Maybe it'll be another multi-woman match. Maybe we'll get Jamie Hayter involved. You know, who the hell knows what's going to go on. Mercedes Moné might want to get involved in that. It'd be a good way to bring in a lot of these powerful, high-powered female wrestlers and be able to have them all wrestle but not have anyone be diminished.
Tony just like made it so easy for me. Yeah. And he was just like, we'll do as much as you want to do too within AEW. You get to make the rules on what you can and can't do. And I'm just like, I love that. Like getting to be Saraya and having control of my life. I'm like, I haven't had that feeling for a long time.
Yeah.
In work-wise. So it feels like, it just felt like the right move at the time. And I know a lot of people were mad at me and stuff like that, but it was nothing personal, like to WWE. It really wasn't. It was just something that was right for me. And I have to make the decisions for me now.
What people don't realize is that behind the scenes, wrestlers in both companies, that doesn't happen. Like, we're not tribalistic like that. We're all very happy for each other. We're happy for the wrestling business as a whole. We're happy that if you don't make it in a certain company, there is another company. There's options. And so everyone's genuinely happy for each other. It's only the internet fans where we are talking about you guys backstage that you are absolutely nuts and to go touch grass, because it's like, there's fans in the world that are really supportive of the wrestling and are happy of where the wrestling business is right now and are genuinely happy for you to be in another company. And then you get the Twitter fan base who are psycho. Like, we don't appreciate any of you guys in that way. If you're going to be like mean to us just for, taking another job opportunity, that's pretty bizarre.
This isn't a squash. A lot of people are claiming the negative reviews, and this is the worst reviewed match of the night. But most of that is just like typical internet wrestling community bullshit and nothing really genuine about the match. In fact, one of the selling points of this match is it has Toni Storm on commentary. And yeah, Toni Storm on commentary, always golden. And that's it for this little mini documentary on Saraya, guys. Let me know what you think about her run in AEW so far. I think that the expectations were extremely high and, maybe it didn't quite deliver the way we thought it would. It didn't absolutely transform the women's, wrestling in AEW the way we kind of always hope it will when we sign one of these big, important female wrestlers. But I thought it did bring us timeless Toni Storm. Like, you got to remember, this is what led Toni down the path of insanity that led to timeless Toni Storm. So I think that we can appreciate what Saraya and the Outcasts have done for AEW, but that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think. We're going into an interesting time here on this channel. Check us out over here on Instagram, of course. Things are always popping off over there, so come join the discussions. If if it ain't popping off down here in the comments, it's probably doing something over here on Instagram. And speaking of that, I gotta throw out a plug for the Patreon. I haven't talked about my Patreon in a bit, but there's always a link down at the bottom in the description there for my Patreon for just $1 a month. I'm going to work on getting some unedited. I've been having some copyright issues with some of this stuff, and I do have some unedited versions of videos that I can promptly throw over there. I don't have any major revisions to add just yet, but that's probably going to happen the more I do these big, long documentary videos. When I start assembling them into big, long documentary videos, these little parts, I can usually do the edits. But if I assemble something really big, I might have to pull, a sizable portion of that out to put it on YouTube. And if you want to help support me while I make these videos, it takes a lot of time to put them together. And that support on Patreon is kind of what allows me to do this. So if you're enjoying these documentaries that I'm putting on the channel, consider going over to Patreon, and we're going to try to do some cool stuff over there as well. Might do some suggestion kind of tiers. Right now there's just the one tier, just $1 a month. All right, guys, that's about it. The other thing you can do to help support is to subscribe if you haven't already. And make sure you watch another video. I've been putting out some really good content on this channel. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. And grave diggers, keep digging.
He is I, and I am him, and I'm the undisputed trend Matt Taven. And this dork behind the camera, some Melvin told me to say, grave diggers keep on digging. whatever that means.
I am AEW wrestler and Ring of Honor tag champ Mike Bennett. And remember, grave diggers keep digging, but not the monster truck. Even though my son really likes that monster truck, I kind of like Son of a Digger and Zombie. I'm going off on a tangent about monster truck because my son really loves monster truck, but we're talking about the YouTube channel. So make sure, grave diggers, keep on digging, baby.
So this Mark doing one half private party, saying what up to the grave diggers and doing your thing, bro.
Alright, like, subscribe, and watch another video, or be cursed. If you're cursed, that means the grave diggers will keep digging your graves. So, you probably want to do it.